Let's make history. Morris Heights is a neighborhood in the West Bronx which has seen many transformations over the years, and it was highly influenced by the Morris family, its strategic location, and arson. If you appreciate these videos, I can't urge you enough. Feel free to show your support on Cash App or Venmo. Thank you in advance. The West Bronx in general could be called the land of hills. Very hilly area, and it's very distinctive because if you ever saw pictures or video, if you haven't been there, that area of the Bronx has blocks where you're walking up the block regular day, and all of a sudden it's a huge flight of stairs, and you can go up those stairs and come down and be on the adjacent block. And this area most of it was owned by Lewis Morris, who's one of the founding fathers, and it's a landowner. He had a lot of property in the Bronx during that period. That's how Morris Heights got its name. Because of its strategic location, right on the Harlem River, the Bronx side of the Harlem River, and right across from Manhattan, it was a desirable location for companies. So you had like a shipbuilding company there, gas companies, there were docks, and it was those companies who employed most of the residents in Morris Heights during that period. Then in 1866, Morris Heights got a train station, and it made a transformation from just a regular farmland to a residential community, a working class residential community. But then in the late 1800s, when that wave of immigration was pouring into Manhattan, started to make its way up to the Bronx, in order to combat that, blocks and blocks of row houses and tenements were built, almost as far as the eye can see. And Morris Heights in the late 1800s, early 1900s, made another transformation and went from pretty much like a quiet residential working class community into an urban landscape. Then in the 1970s, unfortunately, Morris Heights was deeply affected by the spread of arson that blanketed pretty much all of the lower Bronx. And it went through yet another transformation into a decrepit slum. Now, in the 21st century, it looks much better than it did then, and it has improved, but unfortunately, it still suffers from high rates of crimes, shootings, etc.
New York cops now say 2 smoke shop workers were shot this afternoon. Shannon Sohn in News Copter 7 over the scene in Morris Heights. Shannon?
Yeah, they got the call about a shooting at Burnside Exotic here at 15 West Burnside Avenue shortly after 2:20 this afternoon, and we have since learned that the 2 people that were shot were in fact employees of that smoke shop, because you can see that they still have the sidewalk taped off here on Burnside Avenue right at the intersection with Davidson Avenue. At this point, they do not have any suspects in custody, and they are searching for the gunman in this incident.
6:23, and there's breaking news to bring you. 2 men are shot in the Morris Heights section of the Bronx. Let's get to Jim Smith live over the scene in Chopper 2. Jim.
Mary, the information we have right now is that the shooting occurred around 5 o'clock this morning along Featherbed Lane in the Bronx. Police are still on the scene investigating the circumstances surrounding the shooting. What we know is that 2 men were shot. One of them was shot in the head, is listed in critical condition. The other one is listed in stable condition.
And the victim of a shooting in the Morris Heights section of the Bronx has now been identified. Police say someone shot Erasmopoulos several times on University Avenue. He later died at the hospital. Investigators have not said what led up to the shooting. No arrests have been made.
A building has partially collapsed in the Bronx. We're going to show you some video from Citizen App from the scene. This is on West Burnside Avenue in Morris Heights. You can see a lot of destruction. The corner of that building is just gone, collapsing onto the sidewalk below.
Morris Heights is a district which has had many facelifts over the years and will most likely continue to do so as gentrification works its way throughout the city and possibly up into the Bronx. Leave your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to hit that like button. Subscribe to Will Flores TV on YouTube. Follow me on Instagram, TikTok, and X.